Hello, sports fans and baseball fans. It's me, Sportsman Z Bob Zolke. And today I want to discuss a new product I'm going to try. I'm going to say up front, again, well, you'll know when I discuss it. But anyway, what we're going to try to do here is do a superstar baseball season using superstar baseball, of course, obviously. And as you can see from the description on the front page here, I have 8 teams. I've not bothered to name the teams because, you get into all kinds of problems there. Like, I would pick out the best team and I would call them the Chicago White Sox, perhaps. And so we're not going to name the teams. We're just going to call them teams 1 through 8. Now, a couple of caveats, things that I want to discuss about Superstar Baseball. As you might know, there was an original set of Superstar Baseball cards that was put out years ago in the 70s, maybe 80s, whatever. And the new owner of the company that makes Superstar Baseball bought the rights to that game. And in doing that, he issued the original set that came out in the 70s or 80s with almost all actual superstars. Some of them weren't. Pete Runnels, for instance, is in that set, and I don't know on what planet you would call Pete Runnels a superstar, but he was a good, solid player. But most of them were superstars. But he also used his own formula to make 3 other sets. I think 3 other sets. I bought 2 of them. I didn't buy the 3rd set. So, what you're going to run into is there's going to be guys in this league and in those sets that, again, are not superstars. I don't know, we'll go through the content of all the teams. We'll do the team rosters. We'll look at all the team rosters. But, they have guys like Greg Gagne in there. Offhand, I don't know who else. But again, Greg Gagne, I put him in the kind of Pete Runnels situation. He's not really a superstar of any kind on any planet. But he was a good, solid player. So, with that in mind, you're going to see some rosters that are going to have guys on it that are not superstars. And, and then those players aren't going to, if there's somebody that plays their position on the team that is better, then those guys will only play sparingly. Now, what my thought is, I've got 8 teams. That means you have to play 7 other teams. And my plan is to do an 84-game schedule, perhaps 81. But 81, that's 3 less, so that would mean that one of the series would have to be just 1 game. But I can do that. But anyway, it'll be 81 or 84 games. And then we will try to extrapolate from that what they might do, what they might have done over an entire 162-game schedule. But that's the plan. Now, to do that, you have to play 4 series against every team. And that's why I'm not going to do more than that, because 4 series against each of the other teams is kind of overkill. It's bad enough. If you were to do a 160-something game schedule, that would be roughly 8 series against every other team. And that would be ridiculous. We're not going to do that. And I only did 8 teams because, I have enough cards. I could have done another 1 or 2 teams easy. But those 1 or 2 teams would have been a lot more watered down, and it would be tougher, and it would have taken longer to get through a schedule with 10 teams than it would with 8. So I stuck to 8. So, with that in mind, let's take a look at the teams. And when I go over these teams, I'm not going to say specifically I'm not going to go over every single guy. You can see who's on the team, but here are the position players for Team 1. And all the teams, one of the things you have to deal with, you have to have 2 catchers, and you have to make sure you have relievers who are actual relievers, So, with that in mind, Team 1 here has Ted Simmons and Johnny Bench at catcher. And here's our man, Pete Runnels. There he is. Non-superstar, but he made the team. Now, of course, Pete Runnels, well, he had a .291 lifetime batting average, but other than that, 49 home runs lifetime? No. So he'll be a backup. But, here's the guys. You've had enough time to look at these guys. Of course, Babe Ruth is on Team 1, and Mickey Mantle is on Team 1, and Jim Rice is on Team 1, and Ken Williams is on Team 1. So that's, a hell of an outfield. And there's going to be a lot of competition to play amongst those guys. We look at the pitching staff. Another thing I'm going to let you know is you only need a 5-man pitching staff, but I made sure to get 7 or 8 starters for each team just to have an extra guy. And if we go through the season, we find out somebody is just not having a good season, we'll replace him with somebody else. So you got Red Faber, Dizzy Dean, Steve Carlton, Three Finger Brown, Chief Bender, and Cy Young on this team. Team 1 is looking real good. I also want to point out what I might do is make 2 divisions of 4 teams each. And what you're going to find out as we go through these teams is teams 1 through 4 have a lot of really great superstar players and are great. And teams 5 through 8 are, they're good teams. They have a lot of good players, even a couple of superstars, but they might not be able to contend with teams 1 through 4. So I'm going to set it up similar to the 1967 NHL after the NHL expansion. You're going to have a sucky division, and then you're going to have a really good division of really good teams. Now, that's just the way I look at it. Feel free to comment in the comments if you think Team 5, 6, 7, or 8 could hang with teams 1 through 4. But, in my impression, my humble opinion, they can't. So here's Team 2. Here are the position players for Team 2. You got Ted Williams, Willie Mays, Mike Schmidt, Yogi Berra. Another really, really, really good team. And then the starting pitching, Vida Blue, Don Drysdale, Mike Cuellar, Stan Kovaleski, Candelaria, Grover Cleveland, Alexander. And then here's the bullpen. We'll, let you look at those. But anyway, again, here's the position players for Team 2. And now we'll go look at Team 3. So here again, you've got Team 3. Take a look at some of those guys. You've got Joe Cronin, Hank Aaron, Joe Jackson, Harry Heilman, Jimmy Fox, Lou Gehrig. Come on. And then the starting pitching, Nolan Ryan. Now, if you saw a game that I did as an exhibition game, you saw Nolan Ryan got his ass handed to him. So he might not specifically be great in this league. But you got Eddie Plank, Gaylord Perry, Jim Palmer, Kid Nichols, Hal Newhouser, and Big Ed Walsh from the Chicago White Sox. Hopefully my voice will hold out. So we go to Team 4. You look at Team 4's position players. Again, Roy Campanella at catcher. You got Rod Carew, George Sisler, Eddie Collins, George Brett, Lou Brock, Ty Cobb. A lot of great players there. Really great superstars. Pitching staff, Bob Feller, Christy Mathewson, Sandy Koufax, Walter Johnson, Ron Guidry, Bob Gibson, Whitey Ford. And then there's the relievers. Again, we'll let you take a look at the position players here. Of course, you can stop the video anytime you want and look at the teams. So now we're going to go to we're going to start with teams 5, 6, 7, and 8. And see, now you see that it starts to get a little dicier here. You got some guys in the 320s for batting average. You got Gil Hodges with 300 plus homers. Yeah, Yastrzemski with 452. Reggie Jackson with 563. And then there's the pitching staff. Eddie Seacott, he would be really good. But you see, you got Eddie Seacott and Old Hoss Radbourn. Man, it's really, let me see. But these guys in the middle here, these ERAs might not hold up too much against superstar lineups. So Team 6, let's look at Team 6. Here are the position players for Team 6. You got Ron LaFleur, probably not a superstar. Don Baylor, probably not. So you can see, like, Tony Fernandez, he might be a great defensive shortstop, but he was hitting-wise and overall, really, he wasn't a superstar. So you got some guys that can do some damage. Beltre with 477 homers. Torrey Hunter with 353 homers. Norm Cash with 377. Then you come down to that pitching staff, and you got McGinnity and Waddle, who have ERAs under 3, but everybody else has an ERA over 3, even in the bullpen. So that's going to be questionable. Man, my voice is just all this talking. Anyway, so here's Team 7. Take a look at those. Again, there's some guys that have over 300 home runs, 400 home runs, but you can see it's starting to dwindle, the number of guys like that. And here you can see the batting averages. There aren't quite as many that are over like 320. And then you've got the pitching staff. Now, Kenny Rogers, really, based on these statistics, he might get his butt handed to him, but I like Kenny Rogers. So he made the staff, but he probably won't start as one of the 5 starting pitchers. But you can see you got like Addy Joss might be really good in this league, and Marichal. But after that, it's all guys with over a 3 earned run average. And then we go to Team 8. And you can see you've got, Scott Rowland had over 300 homers. You got Vlad Guerrero hit 318 with 449 homers. Gary Maddox, 285, and a good outfielder. Gap Anson hit 331. Really, my voice, it's just because I'm doing a lot of talking. It's not, anything related to my health issues. I mean, it might be a little bit, but if I don't talk like constantly, like I'm doing a video now, it doesn't do this. So I just want to let you know that. But anyway, here's the pitching staff for that team. Now you can see you've only got Smokey Joe Wood and Hippo Vaughn, that are under 3. Everybody else is 3 or more. So, and in the bullpen, you've only got Quisenberry that's under 3. So again, we'll take a look at that really quick. And so you can see, at least I think teams 5 through 8 are probably not as good as teams 1 through 4. So I'll make 2 divisions. One will be 1 through 4, one will be 5 through 8. Again, just like the 1967 NHL. And we'll take a quick look at the schedule, but I mean, that's not really a big deal. But anyway, this is just blocks that show every team matching up against every other team. And then I would just cycle through it again and again and again until all of those series were played. So that is that's the look at my Superstar Baseball teams rosters. And from time to time, I'll put a game up on the site, or maybe I'll do a series and I'll put the series up on the site. But mainly in the background, I'll be playing the games as quickly as I can to try to keep moving it along. It's still going to take a long while to do 84 games, I think. But it's something that I'm going to aim for. And so let me know what you guys think in the comments. Suggestions. I mean, I haven't started the league yet, so if you have any suggestions how I could make it a little better, or there's something I could do a little differently that might be better than what I'm planning on, let me know, But that is going to be it for me. Sportsman Z, Bob Zolge, signing off.